What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you guys my top 5 faction weapons you must get before the faction rally ends. I got almost all these weapons by Wednesday morning, and I've had 2 days to play around and figure out which ones you need. So at number 5 we have the Orbit hand cannon. This thing feels really nice. I love this model of hand cannon. The only thing that keeps me from actually using it is the perks. This one and also the old-fashioned hand cannon. They feel so good, so snappy. They just like drag to people's heads so easily. It just feels really good. Kind of reminds me of almost like the last word in Destiny 1. As in, it just feels like it's a gun that you want to, run and gun and hip fire and, fast-paced hand cannon type style. Really love it. I wish eventually we'll get one with some better perks. This one has triple tap, which isn't necessarily bad, but isn't great. As you see here, I'm just showing off the hip firing. Like, if this gun had hip fire, it'd actually be so sick in PvP. But when you take this into PvP, I do not recommend it at all. This thing, I had the hardest time in the world, and I'm a hand cannon player. And I hated this thing in PvP. I would not recommend it in PvP, but in PvE it's pretty good, and I know a lot of people that really love that model. Coming in number 4, we have the Monarchy shotgun. It has full auto, high cal rounds, and it's a single shot slug shotgun. So, just because the word full auto is in this shotgun, that means it's automatically the second best PvE shotgun in the game. And this thing is no joke with high cal rounds and the single shot slug. Once you get used to it, it actually does some serious damage. You need to be hitting crits with this weapon, or else it doesn't really do much. I would compare it to linear fusions. They're pretty bad on body shots, but on headshots they're probably the best damage over time. Not the best burst damage necessarily, but the best damage over time. So this shotgun on like the right boss, we'll just sit there and stagger them if you can hit headshots over and over again, and it's super good. And as I do this plug event, I'm trying to figure out how to use it the best, and by the third Scion here, which you'll see in a second, I finally figured it out. And you'll just see me stagger them and kill them in one clip very easily. It's this is definitely a weapon you want to go out of your way and get, because this is the type of thing that you'll never know how good it will be. Like, down the road there could be an activity or anything where this main is just a beast. Like, as you saw it there, once I started hitting the headshots on that Scion, he just staggered and he couldn't do anything about it. So it's very good. And PvP, I kind of struggled with this weapon. I never used the Chaperone in Destiny 1 or anything. I don't know if I just was overestimating how much range it has, or if I was trying to aim for the head too much. I'm not sure, but it wasn't going well for me. But I could just be me not using it correctly, because I've heard a lot of people say they like this weapon in PvP. Right here I shut down a super, which is basically the highlight of all the clips I ever try to get using this weapon. It feels weird in PvP. Like right here, up close, I'm pretty sure that was a body shot, like point blank range, and it still didn't kill him. Which doesn't really make sense for me. But at number 3 we have the FWC auto rifle. This thing has basically half glass, or glass half empty, whatever that Destiny 1 perk is, where the bottom half of the clip does more damage. And this thing literally tears through ads in PvE, low tier ads. It consistently 2-shots almost every single type of low tier ad. And it also has high cal rounds, or not high cal rounds, I mean ricochet rounds, which just is a chance that will bounce off something and hit another ad. It feels really good in PvE. Like, I don't use auto rifles in PvE, but if I did, this would be the one I use. It literally melts low tier ads, and it's so stable. Reload's nice and everything on it. There's almost no recoil. You barely even have to correct this thing. It's another one of those 450 RPM auto rifles. There's a couple in the game, 3 or 4 now. They're all so nice. all of them have, you know, slightly different perks, so this one probably has the best perk for PvE though. Like even on the this could be really good even on like the Callus fight to run as your secondary energy weapon. PvP, like I said, it's another 450 RPM, which is the best auto rifle in the game for PvP. The same literally melts. There are arguably 2 other 450 RPM auto rifles which are a little bit better in PvP, but this thing will not disappoint. It's so stable, and it just melts. Right now, Vam right there, or else he would have died too. Feels bad. Alright, coming at number 2 is the Future World Corp FWC Scout Rifle. And this thing is literally, even if you don't like FWC, you need to pledge FWC for these next 2 weapons. This is probably without a doubt the second best scout in the game, maybe third. You can argue which way. It has high cal rounds, and I believe it's called Rampage, which is just basically crowd control from Destiny 1. As you kill veins, it stacks damage over a short period of time, up to 3, and it increases by 10% every time. So if you are killing a lot of ads, you'll get 30% extra damage. Then also, the high cal rounds is literally insane in PvE. This thing will stagger everything. The only time it doesn't stagger stuff is majors, and it still does stagger them, it just takes more than 1 shot. Like if you hit 4 shots in rapid fire 4 shots at a major, they will stagger. As you start, and once you, just like the shotgun earlier, once you get something staggered in PvE, they're literally just sitting ducks. So good. And here we go. This is a light level 260 major, and as you see, I just made him stagger. And also, why this weapon is a must grab is in PvP, it's literally the Mida. It has lightweight and high cal, and it's the same model. It's the same model as the Mida, but instead of the Mida, which is exotic, this is legendary, so it frees up your exotic slot for something else if you want. Or it frees up your primary slot since Mida is a primary. For example, I know personally I will run either the FWC hand cannon or the Better Devils with this as my secondary a lot. The only downside compared to from this to Mida is that you can argue the scope isn't as good as Mida, but once you get used to that, it's not really that big a deal. And at number 1, my favorite faction weapon by far. I love this thing. This is the FWC hand cannon. It's basically the Bear Devils, but a higher impact, slower rate of fire version of it. And it has explosive rounds, but they're delayed by like half a second. And what this does, it's actually pretty weird. These explosive rounds are different than normal explosive rounds on body shots. Half your damage is from the bullet, and the other half is from explosive rounds, which is different than regular, because regular explosive rounds, it's more of a 75-25% ratio. On body shots with this thing, it's 50-50, but then on headshots, it's 75-25. So it's pretty weird. The reason I love this thing in PvE, and it's something quickly become my favorite PvE weapon, is because they can one-shot so many tier 1 ads, which is why I use hand cannons in PvE. They can one-shot all the Cabal, low tier ads. They can one-shot all the like a lot of Vex and Vandals. Literally the list is endless. Other hand cannons can't do that. They take 2 shots. So yeah, you're gonna sacrifice, you know, rate of fire a little bit, but if you're one-shotting, does it even really matter? Anyways, in PvP, I had so much fun using this thing. This thing, 3 shots, headshots, and basically 4 shots with any combo of headshot and body shot almost. And since the explosive rounds are delayed, not only do the enemies get hit twice and they're like, holy crap, what am I getting hit by? And they like stagger. You also, with explosive rounds, get further range because there's no drop off on explosive rounds. So you can literally, once you get used to the recoil in PvP, you can just be mapping kids in 4 shots consistently. which is unheard of for a hand cannon, then up close, you can 3-shot headshot. Anyways, thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed, and look forward to more daily Destiny videos.